much time with Crispy.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Durable by Design. I am Bolo here with
Crispy. Durable by Design by Rob Foreman. That's what we were just talking about. Inspired by Rob Foreman.
Yeah, inspired by Rob Foreman. So here today we are going to do You Are Not Durable by Design if you do not have a group of people doing hard things that can talk to each other with respect, clarity, and transparency. What's your reaction to that, Crispy? Have you ever been part of an org where that's not true? If saying yes, you must say who.
Oh, well, I can't do that. I'll get sued.
Whoa!
Yeah, Durable by Design.
12, baby. There's some good vitamins over there.
Right, yeah. Yes, I've been part of many organizations where you weren't able to do that, including athletic teams and other stuff like that. This is a very, not hard thing, but a rare thing to come across on.
Okay, great. Are you one of the rare people that can do it?
I can do it now, but before I came here, it was a weakness of mine. Yes.
Okay. So here today, Crispy, if you're listening to this, all 23 of the people that listen to this, and by the way, you should share it with your friends. Crispy is going to clear me on it. I have no clue what he's going to say. He might say something really mean. He might say something very helpful, but he will clear me today. So what I'm going to show you all is Durable by Design. This is a very specific model. It's from a book called Conscious Leadership. I learned this again from my mentor, Rob Foreman, who first introduced it. I've used this in my relationships with Brendan Tolson, I started Red Partners with, when we had a lot of tension because of fast growth. I've used it with Steve, my co-founder here, with Steve Bussey. I've used it many times with our executive leadership team. They didn't know I was doing it. Or I've told them to do it to other people before. Okay, so what is it? Is team, I was going to say teams that see clearly win. Teams that see clearly win. And often when you have teams of people, there are unspoken areas because for a lot of reasons. They feel resentment, and there's like invisible work people do. Crispy just got through like the last Q3. He was doing a lot of it invisible work that wasn't being measured. And so like but he was able to talk about it with me. It's like, man, so like there's this invisible work, unspoken areas, and is it we're talking about people see different realities because they have different perspectives, and it's communication with candor that drives performance. You don't get better if no one tells you you're not doing well. And so how do you receive it? How do we talk about it? How do we have the vernacular to have permission to do it? This is what we call cultivating some candor. So you really have two paths when we think about this. And you have path one, and this is what I see in most unhealthy orgs. This will be step one. You hear something you don't like, or you hear something you're like, oh, I really don't agree with that. And there's a withholding. The first step is a withhold. Like you're fearful of speaking up because of some issue. It's either you don't trust the person, you're fearful you're going to be criticized. There's something, there's a withholding. When that withholding comes, you start, and I would say this even from the leadership side, when you withhold telling somebody you don't think they're doing a good job, right? Either the leader or the IC, it's in both those. Then they're starting getting with you get a withdrawal. You start withdrawing. Oh, that person's just rude. Every time they say that, they always say something rude. That they think their jokes are funny, but they're actually just, you start telling narratives in your head, and they're always late because they don't like me. They're always late because they don't appreciate my time. If maybe someone is a leader, it's like, they keep not hitting revenue for this. Like you tell yourself stories about people, which then becomes a confirmation bias, and you start reiterating that every time you see something, and now you have the inability to see good in that person. So when we withhold our thoughts, it creates resentment, and then we start confirming the biases, and we're telling a narrative in our head. This is what happens over and over. The other path, there is no way, like there's only two paths. You're either believing a narrative that's not true, or you're seeing reality. There's only two paths. Mm-hmm. The other one is when you see something, you reveal it, be able to connect with it, and that people are able to own it. So if someone's late, you may say, Matt, you're late. This is the third time you're late. It makes me feel like you don't appreciate me. I suspect you do. No, it makes me feel this way. There's no ability to build the bridge if you're not able to do that up or down. So positive feedback loops. There is no relationship that is great. Relationships are marked by the number of ruptures you have and how quickly they're repaired. Bad relationships, when people say, oh, we've never had a conflict before, I'm like, red flag, like that means something's wrong. It does not mean something's good. It means it's wrong. Great relationships are defined by ruptures and your ability to reconcile and repair. Okay. How do we do that? Number one, I think it's important. I'm going deep, so if you want to stop me at any point. There's another one. It's really important to be able to speak in this way. Inarguable speech. You can't say that what I'm saying is wrong. So there are a couple of things. You can't tell when I'm like, it's really important when you speak with, there are three types. I had this thought in my mind that you were not trying very hard. You can't tell me that's not true. It is true. I had the thought. So when you're talking to people, it's really important. Hey, the way you did that made me feel this way. I had this sense of fear by the way your tone. And so you can't. These are ways of talking that are true, and you can invite people into deeper discussion and invite them into your pain, versus making saying, hey, the way you talk is fearful. Because now you're critiquing them which is untrue. You can argue that fact.
Yeah, it's an assumption.
Yeah. Hey, you don't appreciate me. Versus saying, hey, you keep showing up late. It makes me feel like you don't appreciate me. So it's really important to be able to talk in spaces and places where you're not you're not making these value statements. You're making inarguable speech statements that are feelings, thoughts, and sensations. It's like a premise number one. So we need to get really good. You can be pretty concrete. You can say something, and it invites people into arguing or even to dissecting when you do that.
Yeah, I think the difficulty that most people might find in this is it's hard to explain things without emotion and respond to things without emotion, or emotionally charged statements, I should say, in situations like that when you're doing a clearing session. I think that's a skill set, actually, is being able to communicate things without emotional attachment to it.
I want to hear this. I'm not talking about communicating without emotion. I'm talking about communicating without telling. Crispy, you are. I don't know if this is true or not, but like Crispy, I'm making something up, so please don't take this. I'm gonna use somebody else. Bob, you are mean. I hate working for you. Yeah, that's emotion. I can say differently. Bob, I feel like the way you come into a room makes me feel underappreciated, and I really like in my mind this thing that I'm telling myself when the way you're coming in is that you're really mean. I don't think you are.
Yeah. I think it's, I think
you see, like there's just two, and then like I can, and like even saying it that way changes the emotion. And so I'm trying to get, these are skills that I'm trying to teach people, and the world teaches us to be you're a butthole. You're like, that's not how you talk if you want to build bridges.
Exactly. I think that, my point is, for someone who's emotionally charged based upon a situation, it's very easy to scapegoat out to emotionally charged statement and not "I feel this way," which is very different.
Yeah, and by like I'm having the thought that we need a new head of sales. Like this would be a leader. I'm having the thought. I've had this. Like I'm having the thought that we need we need to do something this way. For like here's the fact. Here's the fact. Here's the fact. What do you think? And invite people into it. I'm like, here's my thought. Like I haven't made a decision yet. I'm just thinking this. You're like, yeah, I'm actually thinking the same thing. Like it's too spread thin. Like you're like, oh, we see reality the same way. Right. Okay. So I'm going to go that gives a shared. So here's the model, and here's how to do this. Here's how I think this is effective. There may be other ways to do it. I think this is a good way to do it. And it sounds like this. Is the first person, you don't have to clear them, have this. The first person says, you start with the facts. So facts are, I'm going to use Riverside. Let's pretend like since we got rid of Riverside, we're now using Stream. Use facts. Okay. Here's the facts.
I labeled this meeting wrong. Riverside clearing session is what it should be.
Yeah, we're clearing. I'm gonna clear Riverside. Okay, let me clear them. Riverside. I built a company that was using you to host all our podcasts. Fact. Number 2. I no longer have access to any of those podcasts that I built. 3, I went to your support section and asked to talk to a human. 5, no one, I was never answered, or whatever number, I was never answered. I tried to do it again, and I said, please give me human, and your bot never took me to a human. I submitted an email to your customer support, and you did not answer me. Facts. That makes me feel. And then you go to number 2. You go to so technically you would have someone on the other side, and they would say, okay, you be Riverside, and you would say, okay, let me make sure I hear the facts. You said X, Y, Z, and you repeat them back to the person. Okay, here are the facts. You built your podcast here. Everything's here. You went to our customer service. You didn't get the support you needed, and you weren't able to talk to a human. Is that true? But yes, that's exactly what I said. Okay. Next, I go into the narrative I tell myself is, and the narrative I tell myself is, you have fired all your CS people. You're using AI to do it, and you don't actually care about me, and I'm not enough revenue for you, and I'm an impact, and I'm not a tier 1. I'm not any of your tiers, and so you've completely denigrated me down to an AI bot because I'm not one of your big spenders, and it frustrates me and makes me want to move because it makes me feel like I'm not valued. Now, where I can own, and then the third one is, that's my narrative, and you go straight to the third. And where I can play my part in this is, I didn't blast you on LinkedIn and give you the ability to like try to reconcile. I probably could have told everybody I was having a bad experience. I could have found and emailed your CEO and people that I've told you in the past. So there are ways I could have done to help reconcile. I didn't do it. I take the blame for that. So I got very angry and was disrespectful with your AI bot. I probably should have been nicer to that AI bot. And I could have done better there. What I would ask to in the future, what you would do is you would contact me, and I would, in the future, I would have a human contact with at least an SLA of 48 of 24 hours when someone asks for that. And then that's called clearing. I just cleared. I went through facts. I went through narrative. I owned my part, and I asked for a response. Then the other person says, this is important. Then the other person says,
I hear you.
I hear you. That's it. You may enlist, I hear what you're saying, and and you can stop there, and the person talking will feel heard. I hear what you're saying. That was a bad experience. I hate, that's not the narrative I want you to have. That's probably true. It's also true you're not going to do. So hey, are you going to do anything about it? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, well at least we can we now both see reality.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So that's clearing. I'll go over again. So here it is simply this: facts. Build the bridge, a common reality. 2, the story I tell myself. 3, it made me feel this way because of this reality. 4, my part in this was. And 5, what I want next time is X. The person two, the receiver, repeats the facts when they hear them. They say, did I get that right? And then last they say the question of, do you feel clear? Like, do you feel heard? And that's it. And if you have the ability to do that, you will have people that can talk transparently with each other, and often just by having something voice their feelings and the narrative, and they can see the same reality, it will solve itself. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Simple, powerful at the same time.
Powerful. So I'll give some examples of this, just put it in real life so you can hear it. So what are things down? And you'll start hearing, you can hear the narratives you tell yourself. Sales are down. Like here's an example. Here's a narrative that you don't say. And I've heard this, like, sales isn't doing their job. What does that mean? I can't respond to that if someone told me that. I'm like, sales isn't doing their job, which I've literally had people, I'm like, what do you mean sales isn't doing their job? I'm like, well, a fact might be sales is down 10%. I sent them a lead and they haven't responded yet. The narrative I'm telling myself is sales isn't doing their job. You can see how destructive this can be between departments. Another one would be teammates. My teammate doesn't value me. Okay, why do you think? The reality might be my teammate missed a key meeting that I asked him to be at, and now I'm telling myself that you don't value me. Example might be my husband has been late from the office and he's done 30 minutes later than he was to say he was going to be, and he didn't. It might be my husband doesn't love me. Like that'll be the feeling. In reality, it's like, well, no, my husband's been late each night, and it makes the narrative I tell myself is my husband doesn't love me, and that makes me feel. And there's a deeper, not sad. You want to go deeper on emotion. It makes me feel sad. Like, oh, you can interact with that, right? And my part in that is I made him do pickup for the past days, and having whatever it is. There's a part in that. Okay, Crispy. Clear me.
Clear you?
Clear me.
Am I the
facts, stories, emotions, roles, and your wants? So you gotta give me. Clear me would be here are the facts. Here's the story. Yeah. Here's the emotion.
So the scenario is I have the issue and I'm supposed to clear it with you, not vice versa.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Facts. And this is all fictional.
Nope, it's gotta be real.
It's gotta be real.
Gotta be real.
I mean, like, I don't know.
How about you do the Q3? Because we
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good.
Here's a real one.
That's a good one. Okay, facts. You went on pat leave in Q3 in early July or mid-July. You assigned me to close all sponsors for inbound. And I closed 155K or whatever it was for inbound sponsorships. You assigned me to own revenue and be interim bullion while you were out on pat leave. We did not hit revenue goals in Q3 in July and August, and we did in September. Facts. I did not hit my Q3 rock. Facts. Which was a framework that we did create for the business. I was scrutinized for not hitting my Q3 rock. Facts. Those are facts, period. Feelings and how it felt beyond that. My time was not valued in other areas.
The story you tell yourself, and then emotion.
The story I tell myself. The input that I'm having is not resulting in output that's respected by others in the business. That's how it felt. That's the story that I'm telling myself. It's like, cool, no matter how much work you do, it doesn't ultimately matter because this metric over here is the one that does, even though I'm being told to do a bunch of other things. So I'm being given a moving target and it's not clear in my face what I need to do, even though I'm doing a lot of things. That's the narrative that I'm telling myself. Story or
feeling,
yeah. my time's not valuable, right? It feels like you don't respect my time or my input. It feels like I am feels like I'm out of place or not valued in the business. It feels like I cannot hit my goals or the things I'm supposed to do. It feels like I'm being judged upon something that's artificial. Yeah.
Those are more narratives. You have any feelings? How does it make you feel?
Yeah, it makes me feel angry and confused, and it makes me feel like, yeah, those.
Great. Here's what I heard you say. The facts are, I think you missed some facts, but that'll, and I think that's okay. Because I think they're more. Deanna left the business 2 days before I had a planned maternity leave. So we had, so I left. I asked you to do sponsorships. You did my ask and hit all the sponsorship goals. That took up a lot of your time. You then had there's quite a other few responsibilities there that you mentioned but didn't explicitly, like you ran admin of the year. You created the platform for it. You ran the entire thing, and there's a lot that went into it. We didn't hit revenue goals. You were charged with hitting them. We also had a rock that which is like for our sell-through framework that you did not do. Although there were other giant things you were asked to do that were taken away from that. It made you feel not appreciated. It made you feel like you do work and nobody sees it. It makes you feel like no matter how hard I try, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Those are the narratives you're telling yourself, and it makes you feel angry. It makes you feel confused. It makes you feel, there's probably a feeling of disheartened or disillusionment. I'd say a bit deeper of I'm angry and I'm getting close to resentment because I'm like, no matter how I try, it doesn't work. And why would I do it anyway? Okay. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Now your next portion is your role in it. And what would you want next time?
Oh, my role.
My part in this is.
Oh, my part in this was I sat in silence and didn't escalate things sooner, which further worsened the situation. I withheld my opinion in public often about these things. I continued to accept work, even though I was overwhelmed at the time of being asked to do it. And my recommendation for next time is that I escalate things sooner and say no to things and have greater prioritization of tasks and things that are assigned to me.
What do you want from me? This is where you tell me what you want me to do.
Yeah. I would like you to acknowledge things sooner.
Anything else?
No.
Would you like me to give you clear goals and they not change?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a good one. This is interesting because we've already done this and I'm already forgetting this conversation. So,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel clear?
Yes.
Do you feel heard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will give you very clear goals that we both agreed to, and I acknowledge that last Q3 you did a lot of work and a lot of it was invisible, and you were held accountable to in the thing that you were asked. You even told you it was the most important, and then you were held accountable to something that was different. And I think it was an impossible task. I think you were set up to fail. Woo! So yeah, so to be clear, if I feel awkward to anybody, we've already had this role. Crispy did not know that I literally forced him to clear me earlier this week. And like I walked through this, but it allowed us to have, and then we made some tangible changes in the business.
Yeah, for real.
So and not that, I mean, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. I think this works, especially, and you don't actually need the other people to know you're doing it for it to work. I say that. If you're the leader, if you're not as a leader, it's good to give people the ability to teach, and then they can do it. Hey, can I clear you? Sometimes people just need the ability to say something like that. Mm-hmm. Where I encourage people, we can do this, we can talk more about it. I encourage you to say, here are the facts as I see them. Here's the story it makes me tell myself. Here are the emotions that I feel. Here's the role. And I think it's really freaky. If you skip this part, it will blow up in your freaking face. Yeah. You must be able to say, here's my part in it and how I contributed to it. And if you don't say that, there's unforgiveness, and that it will be a blunt tool and will cause damage. You must say it. Here's my role in this, and here's what I would like next time. And you can build bridges instead of building walls. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Thank you for your time. Stay awesome. Keep doing it big. Never stop believing. Adios. And here comes this. I'm glad we're gonna cut this out.
Crunch time with Crispy.